As the busiest shopping season of the year gets underway, we look at what could be the biggest day of action yet against the retail giant Walmart. The Black Friday protests come at a time of turmoil for the company. On Monday, the company announced its CEO, Mike Duke, was retiring and would be replaced by Doug McMillon, who started out as a teenage worker in a Walmart warehouse. Last week, the company, which is the largest private employer in the United States and the world, made headlines when a photo surfaced online of a sign made by workers at one of its stores in Ohio. The sign was taped to a table and read, quote, "Please donate food items here so associates in need can enjoy Thanksgiving dinner."
Walmart says the food drive shows the company tries to help its workers, but critics say it reveals the low wages Walmart pays them. Now the food drive photo is being featured in a TV ad by the campaign Our Walmart, short for the organization United for Respect at Walmart. It calls on workers to go on strike and join more than 1,500 protests scheduled on Black Friday.
There's more to Walmart than you think.
Please donate food items here so associates in need can enjoy Thanksgiving dinner.
Employees are donating food, not to the community, but to co-workers in need.
They are one of the most successful companies. I mean, money-wise, what they bring in and the family that owns it.
Running a food drive for their own employees was something they didn't have to do in the first place.
All of your sales floor associates and cashiers are struggling to make a living.
That's the real Walmart.
This comes as the National Labor Relations Board ruled last week that Walmart violated the rights of striking workers. In a statement, the NLRB said Walmart, quote, unlawfully threatened, disciplined, and/or terminated employees for having engaged in legally protected strikes and protests. The incidents include last year's Black Friday protests that saw workers lead rallies at more than 1,000 Walmart stores and another strike at stores across the country this past June. The NLRB says it will pursue charges unless Walmart can reach an agreement with the workers in the coming weeks. Walmart spokesperson Jerry Lundberg says the company will, quote, pursue our options to defend the company because we believe our actions were legal and justified.
For more, we're joined by former Walmart worker Barbara Collins, who was employed for 8 years at a store in Placerville, California. A year ago on Black Friday, she joined Our Walmart and led her co-workers out on strike. She was later fired for her organizing efforts. She's joining us from Bentonville, Arkansas, where Walmart's headquarters is located. She's been protesting there since Friday as part of a group of 8 fired workers who are demanding their jobs back after the NLRB's ruling that their firing was unfair. We're joined here in New York by Catherine Ruchlin, a policy analyst at Demos. She co-authored their new report, A Higher Wage as Possible, How Walmart Can Invest in Its Workforce Without Costing Customers a Dime. Last year, she wrote the related report, Retail's Hidden Potential, How Raising Wages Would Benefit Workers, the Industry, and the Overall Economy. We welcome you both to Democracy Now! Let's first go to Barbara in Bentonville, Arkansas. Talk about the NLRB ruling and what exactly happened to you last year.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I just need to clarify something. I was actually terminated in June, so I participated on the Black Friday strike last year, and then I also participated with the 2-week-long strike in June. And in June is when I was terminated for speaking out. So, but the NLRB, excuse me, the NLRB ruling is just overwhelming. We are really excited that they found that we're telling the truth, that they broke the law, and we want to be reinstated. So we are here in Bentonville, and it's very cold. And we've been out in front of home office every day, Friday, Saturday, and then yesterday, and we'll be out there today.
Protesting.
Yes. Asking them to respect the law and to reinstate us.
Catherine Ruchlin, talk about what Our Walmart, the organizing that's going on all over the country, has now put out in this ad. This appeal by Walmart to its employees, to help other employees who maybe don't have enough money for food on Thanksgiving. Talk about the significance of this.
Sure. You know, the revelation of that food drive in Canton, Ohio is a really important moment for people outside of the retail sector looking in to really see what it means for these workers to stand up to one of the most powerful companies in the world and ask to be treated with dignity and respect. It's not just at the holidays that workers are struggling. You know, when you earn a poverty level wage, putting food on the table is always a tough task. We found, talking to Walmart workers over and over again, that their wages give them just enough to meet their basic needs, and at the end of every month they're making critical trade-off decisions, you know, determining whether they're going to get medicine or pay their school fees or put food on the table or keep their electricity on. And so what workers like Barbara, who are out there, really had a chance to show, you know, the average American who interacts with retail all the time and maybe has seen that these protests have been increasing in their intensity, but hasn't really been able to relate to what that actually means.
But you've also pointed out that Walmart is aware that they pay about 100,000 workers more or less poverty wages. So how is this justified? Have you spoken to people at Walmart and gotten a sense of how they can justify this?
It's true. Walmart's CEO, Walmart U.S. CEO Bill Simon, back in September, in a presentation to Goldman Sachs, was actually responding to the workers' demands and calling out, as they called out Walmart for a fair wage, and saying, hey, look, we have 425,000 workers who earn the wage that you're asking for. But Walmart's the largest employer, the largest private employer in the U.S. That leaves 825,000 low-wage employees. Now, that's a workforce of temporary workers, part-time workers, workers who wish they could get full-time hours but can't get them at Walmart. And the business model that Walmart chooses to operate is really this low-road kind of devaluation of their labor force, where they see their workers as easily replaceable and disposable, as opposed to an alternative high-road model where they could invest in that labor force and see greater productivity, sales, and a really committed staff.
But you've said also that Walmart could very easily raise its wages without raising prices. First of all, how is that possible? And second of all, are there other companies, comparable companies in the U.S. that have done that?
It's true. Walmart earned $17 billion in profits last year. Now, how they choose to allocate those profits is a business choice. What Walmart did with a pretty substantial portion of it last year was go into the stock market and repurchase their own shares. What that did was consolidate ownership. It gave the Walton family heirs a greater than 50% stake in the company for the first time, and it bumps up earnings per share. But that's kind of a short-term Wall Street maneuver that over time doesn't actually represent a productive investment in the firm. And a lot of analysts say that as the effects of that kind of one-time buyback wear off, the firm doesn't actually see any real long-term benefit. If they instead took the $7.6 billion that they used to buy back their own shares and used it to invest in their workforce, they could actually give a raise amounting to almost $6 an hour for all 825,000 of those low-wage workers.
Amidst criticism of its workers' low wages, Walmart's been touting its campaign to promote more than 25,000 of its roughly 1.3 million U.S. employees by the end of January. The workers are featured in clips on the company's YouTube channel, like this one.
Hi, how are you doing? My name is Gregory Porras. I'm the produce manager here at Walmart. I started with the company 4 months ago. I've been promoted to the department manager 3 weeks after I started. This time of the year is a really busy time of the year due to Thanksgiving and Christmas. We have a lot of customers that are in the store, so we try to meet all their needs and getting them everything that they want to make sure that they can take care of their family too.
Walmart spokesperson Corey Lundberg says the company already has hundreds of thousands of associates who earn at least $25,000 per year. Catherine Rachel, your response.
Well, you know, Walmart, by their own admission, is just making the same promotions that they would have made anyway. This isn't an improvement in their labor standards at all. In fact, what it is a lot of workers who've been part-time before and just kind of waiting on the fringes for the opportunity to put in more hours are being kind of touted with a grand fanfare that this is a great promotion, but it doesn't change the fundamental labor practices at Walmart, where they operate on a model of low investment in their workforce and high turnover. In fact, approximately 500,000 Walmart workers quit every year.
So Barbara Collins, could you say specifically how much you were earning at Walmart, and what message do you have for Walmart's new CEO, Doug McMillon?
Before I was terminated, I was making $12.05 an hour, and I was classified as a full-time associate. But that didn't mean that I always got 40 hours a week. There was times that I was only scheduled 8 hours for a week, 16 hours for a week. So it would be so workers, just because they're classified as full-time, they need to give the full-time hours and act responsible and start respecting the workers. And with the new CEO, I really hope he listens to our Walmart, and we're only asking for a better Walmart and to have them act responsible when they come into the communities and follow through with their promises.
And Barbara Collins, you made $12.05 after having worked at Walmart for how long? And did you have any other benefits like health care?
I was there for almost 8 years, and I had to make the decision to drop my health care for me and my children because of my scheduling. No matter what, they were going to take out $36 every paycheck for health care. And with it being 8 hours a week, or 16, maybe 32, I still had to pay rent, electricity, put food on the table for me and my 2 children. So it was a really hard decision, and I had to cancel it.
Catherine Rutschland, if you could talk about that, the issue of health care. And also, you have the owners of Walmart very much involved in the political process, actively campaigning against business regulation, as well as being very much in the sort of the camp of the sort of anti-government approach and support for people. And yet they depend on welfare and government support for their workers.
That's right. A recent report showed that every single Walmart in the country costs taxpayers between $900,000 and $1.5 million in support for poverty alleviation programs like critical health care for workers and their families. Now, the Waltons see this as a huge subsidy to their company, but they could be making a better business decision. They are part of this organizing against government intervention in the workplace, but they can take upon themselves, in the absence of government action, to pay more wages, and they would see huge gains. They would see greater productivity. They would see lower costs from turnover and training as workers stick around and are more loyal to the firm. And over the last couple of quarters, Walmart's actually been complaining about unimpressive sales. And they blame this on a challenging retail environment. But what they don't realize is that they're generating that challenging retail environment by not putting enough money in the pockets of the people who shop there.
We want to thank you both for being with us. Catherine Rutschland, we will link to your report, A Higher Wage is Possible, How Walmart Can Invest in Its Workplace Without Costing Customers a Dime. Catherine Rutschland is a policy analyst with Demos. And we want to thank Barbara Collins, who worked more than 8 years at Walmart in California as one of the organization United for Respect at Walmart's top leaders. That's Our Walmart. She led her co-workers out on the strike last Black Friday, as well as other strikes later fired for her organizing. She's joining us from Bentonville, Arkansas, where Walmart's headquarters is located. She's been protesting there since Friday as part of a group of 8 fired workers who are calling to get their jobs back after the National Labor Relations Board ruled last week their firing was unfair.